Press the base of your neck right where the shoulders meet the spine. Do you feel a firm pad that doesn't shift with your posture, or is it a soft roll that flattens when you straighten up? That little mound between the shoulder blades, often called a buffalo hump, isn't always just bad posture. In many people, especially women in midlife, it can be a visible warning. Your body is signaling prolonged stress and a metabolic shift that favors fat redistribution. I'm going to explain why that happens, how it relates to things like insulin resistance and fatty liver, and give you a practical low-tech 3-step plan you can start using today to push your body back toward healthier storage patterns. First, what is that hump? Touching it gives you information. If it's mostly muscle tightness or a postural knot, it will change with movement and feel more pliable. If it's a firm localized pad of tissue that doesn't move when you change your neck or shoulder position, it's likely subcutaneous fat accumulated in a posterior depot. Cortisol, the body's main stress hormone, helps determine where fat lands. When cortisol is chronically elevated, the body tends to pull fat toward the center and upper back. That's why the hump can be a visual cue of a broader metabolic picture, not merely a posture issue. Let me be clear, a buffalo hump can have multiple causes. Certain medications, long-term steroid use, and specific medical conditions can create similar features. If the hump appeared suddenly, is painful, rapidly growing, or you're taking medications that affect hormones, please consult your clinician. But when it develops gradually alongside other midlife changes, weight around the belly, poorer sleep, more stress, think of it as a metabolic hint that cortisol and altered insulin signaling are reshaping your body's storage map. A quick primer on the players. Cortisol is a hormone released during stress. It mobilizes energy, but also reshapes where the body stores fat over time. Insulin is the fat storage hormone. When cells resist insulin, the body holds on to calories and stores more as visceral fat, the deep belly fat that wraps organs. Fatty liver is what happens when the liver accumulates excess fat, which worsens insulin resistance and creates a vicious cycle. Midlife estrogen decline removes part of the body's shield that used to help distribute fat more evenly. Without it, the tendency to centralize and posteriorize fat increases. These processes are linked, not identical, so a hump doesn't prove one single diagnosis, but it often flags a cluster of metabolic changes worth addressing. Now the practical part. 3 science-rooted, low-complexity steps that target the metabolic environment associated with cortisol-driven redistribution. Think of them as removing the conditions that let the body keep hoarding and relocating fat. Step 1. Stop liquid carbs and cut late-night alcohol. Drinks with sugar, sodas, fruit juice, sweetened coffee drinks, and alcohol are fast ways to load the liver and spike insulin. The liver processes liquid calories very efficiently, and frequent spikes mean the liver stays burdened, which can feed into insulin resistance and the body's tendency to store fat centrally. Replace caloric drinks with water, sparkling water, or unsweetened tea. If you drink alcohol regularly, especially at night, try cutting back or spacing it out. Aim to keep evenings light on liquid calories. This is not about perfection, but about reducing a common high-impact source of metabolic pressure. Step 2. Favor low-stress, Zone 2 movement over chronic high-intensity training when cortisol is elevated. Zone 2 is a conversational pace. You can sustain it for 30-45 minutes and still talk in short sentences. Brisk walking, easy cycling, or a steady elliptical session fit this zone. Aim for 3 to 5 sessions per week. Why Zone 2? It's effective at improving mitochondrial function and fat metabolism without spiking cortisol the way frequent, intense bouts can in people already stressed. Think of it as coaxing your body to use stored fat for fuel, rather than telling it to hang on tighter. Step 3. Increase meal spacing to give your liver a break and encourage fat mobilization. That means no constant grazing. Practically, aim for a 12 to 16 hour overnight fasting window where you stop eating earlier in the evening and delay breakfast a bit. For many people, that looks like finishing dinner by 7 p.m. and waiting until 8 a.m. or 9 a.m. before eating. This helps deplete liver glycogen and signals the body to access stored fat when safely done. If you're considering longer fasts or have medical conditions, check with your clinician before extending beyond this range. Alongside these 3 pillars, prioritize sleep and simple stress hygiene. Sleep is when cortisol drops and repair happens. Aim for consistent bedtimes, a dark, cool room, and a wind-down routine that reduces late-night screens. Add short, intentional breathing breaks during the day. 3 to 5 minutes of slow diaphragmatic breathing can downshift the nervous system. Low-intensity recovery practices like gentle yoga or easy nature walks are perfect complements. These aren't optional extras. Lowering overall stress supports the physiological shift away from cortisol-driven storage. How will you know if this is working? The hump often softens before it visibly shrinks. Use gentle palpation once a week. Note whether the tissue feels less firm. Take photos from the same angle under similar lighting every 2 weeks. Clothing fit, how a bra strap sits, or how jacket seams align, can be a great real-world signal. Expect change to be gradual. Some people notice softening within 2 weeks, more visible differences around 4 to 12 weeks, but results vary by age, baseline health, medications, and consistency. Don't expect overnight miracles. Think in terms of metabolic momentum, safety and limits. If the hump appears suddenly, is very hard or painful, or you're on medications known to affect hormones, like chronic glucocorticoids, see your doctor for evaluation. There are medical conditions that mimic or cause similar fat distribution patterns, and a clinician can help rule those out and guide safe steps. Also, if you have diabetes, low blood pressure, or take medications that respond to fasting, consult before changing meal timing or starting longer fasts. A few quick misconceptions to clear up. Targeted exercises for the upper back won't reverse a metabolic redistribution. Liposuction or cosmetic fixes remove fat locally, but don't change the internal signals that put fat there in the first place. So they can be cosmetic answers, not corrective ones. This approach isn't about blame. It's an evidence-aligned way to reduce the hormonal and metabolic pressure that favors that hump. If this sounds familiar, hit like and subscribe. I'll walk you through practical, realistic steps like this on the channel. I want to leave you with one last thought. Think of estrogen as a shield that once helped deflect some of the storage pressure. In midlife, that shield thins, but your daily choices, what flows through your liver, how you move, how you space meals and sleep, are the levers you can use to reduce the pressure that redirects fat. Start small, track gently, and be consistent. Tell me in the comments, do you notice firmness between your shoulder blades, or did you discover it while doing the press test? I read them all. If you're concerned about sudden changes or pain, make an appointment with your clinician. This can be an important medical signal, not just a cosmetic issue.